So now we can review the ingredients. This one is the taro, which I got it about 400 grams, and we're going to cut it before we actually make it. This is canned sugar. I used canned sugar instead of condensed milk. Both of them do work because it's just sweeten the thing. This one is coconut milk. For me, this can is just 400 milliliters, which for me one can is okay. This one is the wait, uh, like yeah, this one is like I know how to say it. I just don't want one. So this is the tapioca pearl, which it's how the main ingredients of this thing. So those four are all of our ingredients today we are going to use for cooking it. We need a two pot like this.
So the tapioca pearls, is it supposed to be like already soaked or just like
It's raw material because we're going to boil it during the class.
Okay.
We need about two pot like this because we need one pot for boiling the taros and another one for boiling the tapioca pearls, and then we are going to basically just combine them together. That's about the whole thing we're going to do. It's 5:04. Maybe we're going to start at 5:05, but I don't think others. They might just going to be late. So it's now 5:05. We're going to start. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to dice the taros. Basically, maybe about like 1 centimeter or cube square. Mm. It doesn't need to be too precise as long as it's going to be easy for boiling. Just be careful because the raw product, it might be a little sensitive for some of it might be a little sensitive if you got like itching. Just if you do feel so, you can wash your hand and then uh, cutting it again.
Lucy，你那个镜头可以看对一下案板吗？这样小朋友可以看见一些。哎，好，谢谢。
因为我对上案板之后可能会就是镜头倒掉了，我尽力把。
哦，OK。
Yeah, after you finish, you can raise your hand or just unmute yourself and say that you're finished for dicing the taro. Yeah, I now finished cutting mine, so I'm going to wash them once because there are a lot of starches on the towel. If you don't wash it, it doesn't matter. Like, it won't be too big of a difference. But I would prefer to wash them. You just basically get some water and then pour the water. Uh, so the starches, some of the starches will just been washed by washing. So if you are finished, you can just show whatever sign of that you are finished dicing. Yeah, so I can see that Aiden has finished. Yaya, Lee, and Audrey finished their cutting. Or maybe like you can say how long do you still need for finish this process? This is like the first step.
I'm almost done.
Yeah, that's great. Uh, I think we're going to maybe wait for another 1 or 2 minutes so that everybody can be done. Yeah, now most of us should be like done. And so for doing that, we're going to just basically have our pot and then pour all of our taros into this pot, give it some water and just boil it. This is like how we do on the first pot. We're just going to basically boil the taros and it takes maybe about 10 minutes or so to make sure most of it's fully cooked and it's somehow like be very soupish like. In this process, we're going to boil the tapioca petals. But before doing that, we're just going to have some water and then boil the water first. Make sure the water is totally boiled. Then we're going to boil the tapioca petals. Because if you don't do that, they will basically sticking together, and you just need another one. Now we are just going to wait for the water to be boiled. It's sorry for that. I didn't be too precise on the time. I think if you need, you can use this time to open your can of coconut milk, or if you are using other it's also good. I'm just going to first explain how do you boil this tapioca petals, because it's easy to make mistake, then you will basically fail. So the first thing you're going to do is to make sure that the water is fully boiled, like maybe 100 degrees Celsius or so, maybe near that. And then after you put your tapioca petals into the pot, make sure that you keep stirring it, maybe for 1 or 2 minutes, so that if you don't stir it, they will just stick on the bottom of your pot, and you're just not going to have it. Because the basic ingredients of the tapioca pearl is just starch. So for boiling those starches, people know what will happen. Yeah, so if your water for boil the tapioca petals is good, if it's boiling, you can basically raise up your hand or unmute yourself, so that I know we can continue to the next step. Now I can see that my pot of taro is boiling. There might be some like foamy stuff on the top. We're going to take it or like remove it from the pot. Also, I'm just going to make the lid be open for boiling the taro, because if I don't do so, it might just for what I'm skipping is because my taro is boiling and there's some white foamy stuff on the top. It might be like the starch of the taro, so I'm just taking it out to make sure that it doesn't like break the taste of the thing.
So once the water for the tapioca pearls starts to boil, do we just add the tapioca pearls in?
Yeah, I think maybe they're going to wait for a minute or so, or you can just do it by yourself first. It just have a risk of fail. So if you want, I can now do the demonstration as my water is boiling too. So my water is boiling. Now I'm going to take the tapioca pellets into it and then just start to stir it. This process maybe we need to stir several minutes to until it's fully done. Because if the water is not boiled enough, it might the starches of the tapioca pearl may just be spreading out, which will just cause all those tapioca pearls to be smaller in size, and the water will be pretty starchy. It just if you have those bigger size tapioca pearls, you might need maybe longer times, because I don't know like how big the ingredient is for everybody. For mine, before boiling, it's like 3 millimeters in its diameter. After it's boiling, it's like 6 or 7 millimeters or so. For mine, I think it's pretty good now because I can see that most of them seems a little transparent with a pretty like still white core inside. It doesn't matter that much as long as the outer side of the tapioca pearl is pretty done. And yeah, so after that, I'm going to basically uh yeah, wait.
You're muted.
Yeah, so we just basically pour most of our water out from the tapioca pearls pot, and this is like our product with most of the tapioca pearls and some water. After the taro it's boiled, we're going to just basically pour it into the pot of the taro. For those waters that has been boiled, we can just pour it like a waste. For the taro, it seems like as long as it's fully cooked, we can smash it by ourselves, like if needed, or we can just basically let it to boil maybe another 2 or 3 minutes. So make sure that it's breaking down by itself. Both of them do work. I'm just going to take out the foamy stuff again from my pot. After the taro was pretty good like this, I'm going to basically smash it by the spoon. So just a save of time, and it do work if you want like bigger chunks of taros. So you can just not smash it that hard, but to have by smashing it, there will be more taros goes into the soup and it just tastes better. Now by smashing it, most of the taros were now like this. So I'm going to add my coconut milk into it. The coconut milk I chose is the creamy one. Maybe some of others chose the one that is not so creamy. Yeah, just simply pour it in and stir it. Because this pot is pretty small, so I'm going to pour the whole thing into the pot that I just boiled the tapioca pearl. Or if your pot is big enough, you can just simply pour your tapioca pearls into this pot and then give it some sugar and finish the whole process by boiling it maybe like another 1 or 2 minutes. So now I poured my whole stuff into the tapioca pearl pot. I can see that everything is pretty fine now. So I'm going to make it boil another 1 or 2 minutes. In this process, I can add my sugar or condensed milk into the pot, so it tastes better. If you don't add it, it's just not sweet. I personally want the sweeter taste. If you don't, it's okay. Also, for some of the product, it seems pretty weird. Like if you add sugar, some just don't taste sweet, so you might need the condensed milk to give it a sweeter taste. For mine, I think canned sugar is good enough.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So my mom bought like 2 of the coconut things.
Yeah.
There's like the coconut milk or tea thing, and then there's a Savoy coconut cream. So which one are we supposed to use?
I think the one you showed first, it's good. Like coconut milk, it's good. The coconut cream might contain more fat, which it might be like too creamy on this product. So coconut milk, it's good. So after the whole thing is reboiled, we just basically finish all of the making process of this taro sago soup. It's pretty simple for doing it. So I think the only difficult part is boiling all those tapioca petals, because if the water is not fully boiled or if you don't stir it, it might cause the process to fail. But everything else, I think, as long as if you are not afraid of the heat, it should be all good. If there's any question, you can just basically ask me, and I am here to help. Yeah, is there any question for Aiden? You are muted.
Yeah, I think in here, Yaya and Aiden and you both all went to the 那个厨艺大赛 actually. So yeah, I saw your 我看见你的那个素的那个佛跳墙是吧？我觉得做的那个摆盘很漂亮在那儿，所以想给你说一声非常棒做的在那儿。然后丫丫的做的那个饺子我也看见了，他是做了一个双色的饺子。所以说非常感谢。哎呀，这个脑袋怎么都跑到这里头来了，我才看见。
七彩汤圆看着也非常可爱，并且每个都有寓意，听起来就特别的。
对，我觉得还挺好。然后我现在想跟你说一下，就是，不是华州有几个小朋友不是获奖了吗？然后那个你有个小孩是在 Boso 的，还有另外一个可能是在 Belleville。然后我在想呀，也可以，我们那个 Cooking Club 也可以邀请他们来，就说客串也好，或者说当小老师，我正在跟他们联系在那。所以的话，Lucy， 我要看一下，因为10年级，因为你这里面可能是算是 leader 了最大的一个小朋友，然后那个我们商量一下，因为马上那个太一那个下礼拜天要开嘛，然后之前可能还有一些准备工作，就是要给大家家长发 email 啊那些，我不知道你10年级你现在有没有时间做这个事情的呢？
理论上来讲应该问题不大，就是比如一周可能1个小时1.5到2个小时，这些都没有问题。如果可能工作量太大了，我确实
会，主要是 email 这些 communication 什么的。然后我其实是希望所有的小老师都有机会来参与，就是说怎么去跟别人 communicate 呀，发这些东西，我觉得都是一个很好的 learning。另外就是你也看见那个报名表了，现在就是大概我上一次看是24，我不知道今天晚上还会再发一个 孩子可能还会有更多的人来报名，然后有些家长说他们都可以来教课，所以说非常好，我觉得 will be have a lot of support。Yeah， 然后可以学各种其他不同国家的菜 ，I'm sure for that 。Yeah， 然后对这个我们到时候再开会再商量，然后看一下就是说怎么能够把这个事情，我估计先要给家长发一个详细的 email 在那儿 beginning， 告诉他们这些，比如说 meeting link 呀，然后需要准备一些什么呀。然后我在担心，如果有家庭真的很困难，就是说没法做这些东西的话，那可能就是说我们有可能会需要 prepare 那个 material for them。Let's talk later. Oh, somebody asked a question. Oh, yeah, ask a question. Okay, go ahead.
How much coke?
The amount of coconut milk is about like 400 milliliter. After that, like by stirring the coconut milk, the taro, and the tapioca taro, we need to add like a sugar or condensed milk into it. The amount of sugar I recommended is about 1/3 of a cup, and for condensed milk, it's about 150 millimeters. If you want it to be sweeter, you can add more. 因此叫做我们开这个 club，感觉工作量还是好大。
没有啊，这也是你可以当这个 leader 啊，我觉得可以学到很多东西actually。哎，Lucy，我想问你一下，你那个西米露你要煮到全透明，还是说中间有白心就可以了呢？
白心就可以了。那个西米的话，不需要煮到全透明。煮到全透明的话，有些时候就吃起来口感没那么好。
哦，really？ OK， 好吧，行，谢谢。
哎，对了，悄悄问一下，有 volunteer hour 吗？
是啊，我今天已经都给你批了，你没看见吗？在那。你那个，你昨天
我等一下看一眼。
看一眼，你报的4个还是5个，我都帮你批了的。
太好了，谢谢。
这是你应该的。你要是做 leader，你肯定会那个用到的，将来申请的会更多一些的。
那实在是太令人开心了。
没有啊，我觉得我们很高兴有你做这个 group 的 leader。
那我就是很感谢你们的信任，希望我叫做能够把它做好。
对，然后我在那想着，是不是可以 Seattle 的这些一起去比赛的小朋友，将来也可以互相切磋一下。有些孩子就像很多都是，我问了一下家里情况，基本上都是自学成才的，所以说的大家，我觉得这种都是很有 passion 的在做这个事情的呢。我觉得蛮好的，就是说如果有机会可以，大家一起对，因为有共同的爱好嘛，yeah。包括丫丫，我都特别看好丫丫。丫丫是年纪小，但是她很爱做饭。
那实在是太好啦！大家就是从小喜欢做饭，那以后肯定做饭的人会更多的。
后头呢，你把这个少给你。Yeah, satisfied. Maybe.
So if there's no other questions, like maybe we are finished of this class, or if you have any other questions, you can just ask.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So when are we supposed to put in like the 西米露?
For the 西米露, you can just stir it together with the coconut milk and the taro. So yeah, and the sugar. Just after it's boiled, mix all of them together. Then it's good.
Yeah, I think we are waiting for the after the condensed milk put in, and so we are waiting for the boiling again.
Yeah. The thing is for reboiling it, it makes sure that everything is basically fully cooked, especially for the condensed milk to make sure there is just no other maybe bacteria or other stuff. If it's hit enough, then it should be good. Like if you don't reheat it, just better to do so. So this is my product. It seems pretty white, like hard to see what it looks like. Mostly the taros and the sagos or kaya tapioca pearls. It's inside of the product. There was some steam, which I can't look at really clear. The thing tastes pretty good, and yeah. Mm. Now it should be like more clear for the product with you can see some tapioca pearls and some taros in it.
Really good.啊，那好了没有？煮的味道口感咋样？是不是老甜老甜？要有赶紧看一下，有点粘了，有点脏。过了这个西米露在这就得搅。It's not good.
我就爹呢，但那个
你要再盛点给你。有颜色的，来，拿那个颜色，里面是颜色的小碗过来，那个盛出来才漂亮。
底色是
底色是有颜色的，
这个。
然后拿个小碟，你看底下找个同样的小盘子，是吧？好，丫丫的呢？丫丫也给做了。
I saw Yaya's product. It seems pretty good. Like, yeah, I think for next time, you can basically add less water for boiling the taros, so the thing could be more denser and it should be taste better. But for this time, it's still pretty good.
oh,
Yeah, I can also see Aiden's product. It's also very good. I can see the taro pieces, but the sagos is just transparent and I can't see it.